Hey everyone, welcome back to Overtime Insights. Over the weekend, Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred is currently reviewing a petition to have Pete Rose posthumously removed from baseball's ineligible list, potentially opening the door for the all-time hits leader to be considered for induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. This development comes in the wake of Rose's death in September 2024 at the age of 83 and represents the latest chapter in one of baseball's most enduring controversies. On January 8, 2025, Pete Rose's family formally filed a petition requesting his removal from MLB's ineligible list. This action followed a significant December 17, 2024 meeting at the commissioner's office that included Rose's oldest daughter, Fawn, and Jeffrey Lenkov, a Los Angeles attorney who represented Rose prior to his death. MLB spokesman Pat Courtney was also present during this one-hour discussion. Lenkov described the December meeting in positive terms, telling ESPN that the commissioner was respectful, gracious, and actively participated in productive discussions regarding removing Rose from the ineligible list. The petition reportedly contains what Rose would have said honestly and candidly to Commissioner Manfred, who he had been able to attend that meeting, though the specific contents have not been publicly released. According to multiple media reports, MLB sources have confirmed that Manfred is now actively reviewing the petition. This reconsideration comes after Manfred previously rejected Rose's reinstatement petition in 2015, following a personal meeting with Rose himself. Now, the primary objective of the petition is clear. Lenkov has stated they are seeking Rose's removal from MLB's banned list so that we could seek induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, which had been long his desire and is now being sought posthumously by his family. When the news came out about him being on the to be unbanned, I thought, why bother? If he's not able to enjoy it alive, you don't want him on the MLB Hall of Fame, just let it be. But seeing that it is the family that wants it, I think hopefully they will abide by the family's wishes. Rose's banishment has effectively prevented him from receiving baseball's highest honor despite his unmatched statistical achievements. The Hall of Fame adopted a rule in 1991 stating that anyone of MLB's permanently ineligible list cannot be considered for election to the Hall. As a result, Rose has never appeared on a Hall of Fame ballot despite being baseball's career leader with 4,256 hits and holding major league records for games played of 3,562 and plate appearances of 15,890. Rose's permanent ban from baseball was imposed in 1989 by then-Commissioner A. Bartlett Giamatti after an investigation led by lawyer John M. Dowd found Rose, who had placed numerous bets on the Kansas City Reds to win from 1985 to 1987, while serving as the team's player-manager. This violation of baseball's cardinal rule against gambling led to his placement on the permanently ineligible list. For many years after his ban, Rose denied betting on baseball. It wasn't until 2004 that he finally admitted in his autobiography that he had indeed bet on baseball games, though he maintained he only bet on his own team to win and never against them. This long period of denial likely damaged his reinstatement chances during his lifetime. Commissioner Manfred had previously taken a firm stance on Rose's eligibility. In November 2022, he stated, "I believe that when you bet on baseball, from Major League Baseball's perspective, you belong on the permanently ineligible list." He reiterated similar sentiments at the 2023 All-Star Game. However, the commissioner has reportedly viewed the permanently ineligible list as punishing players during their lifetime but ending upon their death, for all practical purposes. This perspective could provide the philosophical framework for granting the family's request for posthumous reinstatement. Manfred has consistently maintained that the Hall of Fame's eligibility criteria are separate from MLB's ineligible list, noting in the past that any debate over Mr. Rose's eligibility for the Hall of Fame is one that must take place in a different forum. So the news about Manfred considering the petition emerged around the same time that President Donald Trump announced plans to issue a complete pardon for Pete Rose on March 1st, 2025. Trump posted on social media that he would pardon Rose in the coming weeks, stating that Rose shouldn't have been gambling on baseball, but only bet on his team winning, in all caps. It's important to note that Trump's pardon would likely address Rose's 1990 conviction for tax evasion, for which he served 5 months in federal prison, rather than his baseball ban, which is under MLB's jurisdiction. According to ESPN, Linkoff had not actively sought the White House assistance in the reinstatement efforts. Despite his controversial ban, Rose's on-field accomplishments remain extraordinary. A 17-time All-Star, Rose was a 1973 National League MVP and played on 3 World Series championship teams. Beyond his record hit total, he also holds major league records for games played and plate appearances. His tenacious playing style earned him the nickname Charlie Hustle. Rose spent most of his career with the Cincinnati Reds from 1963 to 78, 1984 to 86, while also playing for the Philadelphia Phillies from 79 to 83 and the Montreal Expos in 1984. He later managed the Reds from 1984 until his ban in 1989. The commissioner's decision could potentially open the door for Rose's Hall of Fame consideration, though that would ultimately require the Hall of Fame to reconsider its own rules regarding those on baseball's ineligible list. Representatives of the Hall of Fame previously indicated that players on the permanently ineligible list will not be considered for induction even after death. As Manfred refused the petition, baseball fans, Rose's family, and the sports historians await a decision that could significantly impact how one of baseball's most complicated figures is remembered in the game's official history. Now, I mentioned before, even when Pete Rose passed away, I don't think he should be reinstated. Not because of the scandal. His stats alone should be recognized by the Hall. However, he is not able to enjoy it and see himself in the Hall of Fame. Then why bother letting him in? But because his family is petitioning for him to be reinstated so he can be in the Hall of Fame, I say reinstate him. He served his punishment. Also, if it's true that he only bet on his team to win, then that ban should be lifted by now because at least he didn't bet on his team to lose. Because if he did that, then the ban should continue. Pete Rose's story forces us to ask, should greatness absolve wrongdoing, or do some lines can't be crossed? Let us know in the comments, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time in Overtime.